People, welcome to my YouTube channel, The Kenyan American Home. Thank you so much for my subscribers, for the love that you always show me, the notification gang. And if you're new here, please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel and don't forget to hit that notification bell and you'll get notified every time I upload a video. So today, the video that I'm doing is a request that I got from one of my people, Penina, and she wanted me to do a video kind of like breaking down how dietitians are paid in the US to, compare that to how that they're paid in Kenya. And so we're going to break down so many things today. Talk about how much, on average you can get paid as a dietitian, and then break down the cost of living and how much you'll end up saving. So we'll break down all that. But then I'll also give you, some of the jobs that are open, that are available for dietitians. And then we're also going to talk about some of the highest paid dietitians position and specializations here in the US. So actually let's go ahead and start with so for anyone who doesn't know what a dietitian is, so a dietitian helps clients make healthy choices, healthy food choices to achieve specific health related goals, whether it's disease management or prevention. And so here are like the 9 high-paying jobs dietitians can have in the US, and these are like different specializations that you can get out of being a dietitian. And so the highest that you can actually get paid as a dietitian per year is about $110,000 US dollars, $110,000 US dollars. And this, so the $110,000 US dollars, you can get paid when you are a chief clinical dietitian. So chief clinical dietitians can make anywhere from $62,000 to $110,000 per year. And then the next specialization is a registered dietitian. And a registered dietitian can make anywhere from $59,000 US dollars per year to $89,500 US dollars for the year. And then you get the research dietitian, and the research dietitian pretty much performs a variety of clinical tests, an analysis on food to determine things like calories and vitamin contents, and decide whether they are appropriate for different people. So a research dietitian can make anywhere from $50,000 to $81,000 US dollars per year. And then you have a registered clinical dietitian, and a registered clinical dietitian can make anywhere from $55,000 US dollars to $73,000 US dollars per year. And then you get the clinical dietitian, and a clinical dietitian pretty much designs and administers nutrition programs for patients in healthcare facilities. And a clinical dietitian can make anywhere from $52,000 to $72,500 per year. And then you have a renal dietitian, and these are some of the specializations that you could, in the dietitian nutritionist field that are some of the higher paying. A renal dietitian pretty much deals with works with kidney patients, to kind of help them make diet and nutrition choices to be able to, kind of help improve the overall function of their kidneys. A renal dietitian can make anywhere from $56,500 to $72,000 per year. And then you have the outpatient dietitian, which is, so you provide diet counseling and nutrition advice to patients and families, outside of the facilities, the health facilities. And the salary range is anywhere from $51,000 to $65,500. And then you have the administrative dietitian, whose salary range is anywhere from $35,000 to $64,500. And then finally, the number 9 specialization dietitian is a community dietitian. So a community dietitian is trained to develop programs and promote healthier food choices to specific groups of people, such as children in schools or senior citizens. And a community dietitian can make anywhere from $48,000 US dollars to $62,000 dollars per year. So those are some of the specializations that that come along if you go into the dietitian career or profession here in the US. So to be able to break down, on average, a dietitian in the US can make an average of 67,000 US dollars. That's on average. 67,000 US dollars amounts to, when you break that monthly, it's about 5,500. 5,500 US dollars per month. And so I'm going to break down. So if you come in here and you're being paid the average, and so average is 67,000. You can get paid as much as 110,000, or it can be lower. But we're working on average, and so let's say you're being paid the average, which is 67,000, which that breaks down to 5,500 per month. So what are some of the costs that you have to consider living in the US? So I'm going to break down the cost of living that you get paid 5,500. Number one, you have to worry about rent, and I'm going to do the cost of living. I'm going to just do a cost of living here in Colorado. So, because I live in Colorado, and I can kind of give you cost of living here in my state. My state is a little bit higher on the cost of living chart, and so you can go to other states that have lower cost of living, but there's also a few of them that rank above Colorado. Rent here in Colorado, about a 1-bedroom, sometimes 2-bedroom, you can get one for $1,500 US dollars per month. So that's $1,500 per month for your rent. And then the other thing you have to worry about is utilities. Utilities covers your water, your electricity, trash, all that. Utilities about $200 per year. And so that, this is on the assumption that you're living in an apartment. So utilities $200 per month, because then it gets higher when you own a home. But I'm imagining by the time you get to a point where you're buying a house, you've already set yourself up, moved up in your career, and you're making way more money, to be able to kind of support the additional expenses that come with buying a house. Okay, so then the other big item is the food. And food, I'm gonna assume you spend about $350 a month. So you can, this can be for one, and I'm assuming it's just one individual. So if you have a family, it can cost you more. But we'll also talk about some other options, that can, we're kind of working on a tight budget, but there are other options that, whether it's getting a second job to be able to support additional expenses. So, that also is a possibility. But so for food, we said $350 per month, and then you have transport, and transport, really, you're really talking about gassing your car. And so, gassing your car in Africa, I think we call it petrol. So gassing your car is about $200 a month. And taxes. So when you're talking about taxes for the 5,500 that you get paid in the month, you're looking at about 800 to 1,000. So let's say 800 for taxes. And then health insurance, you need a health insurance. And so, being paid, let's assume you're paying $150 per month for your health insurance. And then you have your car insurance, which is about $200. And then let's throw in entertainment, because that's a big thing, that's a big item that, and I'm gonna be generous on an entertainment, and I'm gonna do $600. So, there could be other things that, you could take away or you could add, because you could find a cheaper apartment, and not have to pay $1,500. And so it's a toss up. So you can choose to see, you can sit down and see that, hey, I don't want to live on that budget. That is, that's such a tight budget. And so you can decide to take up a second job to be able to help you kind of live in, much more comfortable, where it's not such a strict budget for you. So when you add all these expenses up, it comes to a total of about 4,000 US dollars. So 4,000 US dollars is your expenses total, and then you were making 5,500. And so, when you are left with about 1,500 per month. 1,500 per month, that is, whether you want to consider that savings or if you're from Africa, you know that there's another part of the budget that we didn't mention, which is the people back home. And so, depending on what you're doing in the situation for you back home, which is one of the things that I think I'm gonna address in a different video to kind of be warning you, because this item, when it comes to people back home, you need to be really careful, especially when you're beginning your life here in the US, because a lot of times you find people straining themselves to send money back home, a lot of money back home, and then they end up struggling here in the US, and you end up, struggling in laying your foundation. And so it's always good to draw up good boundaries. It's always good to have communication with the people back home, to let them know that your situation. Sometimes being honest is honest is a good policy, to let them know, I know you expect so much from me, but at this position, at this time, I'm not able to do all the things that you want me to do. And so you have this 1,500, and that could be too little for you to consider savings per month, that or the other additional things that may pop up. Because as you are aware, there's things that come up, things like emergencies. Emergencies always come up. Sometimes you end up in an accident, and you have to kind of like go back into your pocket to dig money out to be able to fix your car. Or there's just all these emergencies, they always show up. And so if you feel like this is too little for you, there is an option of getting a second job. And people do that. There's so many good part-time second jobs that you can do here in the US that, it doesn't have to be strenuous, where you can take up Ubering, you can take up, door dashing, you can take up, so there are so many other, kind of small part-time jobs that you can take up to be able to make an extra $1,000 a month to be able to support other projects that you have, or to help you kind of build a good savings or good investments that come along with that. And then, so the other thing we're gonna look at is, we're going to kind of look at some of the positions that are available right now as far as dietitians are concerned. And so I'm going to take you through ZipRecruiter, and I'm going to take you through Indeed, and we're going to look at some of the positions that are available throughout the US when it comes to dietitians. So let's look at ZipRecruiter for some of the remote positions available. So there's a registered dietitian nutritionist position that is available, and it's paying from 50 to 53,000, and it kind of gives you, some of so you need to be licensed in Illinois, and talks about, compensation. They offer you PTO, 401k, and a dental. There's a clinical dietitian in Waco, Texas. So these are remote positions actually that are available. And if you drill in, so like for this one, when you go in, it tells you that you actually have to go and apply in that particular company's website. There's a registered dietitian. This is a part-time remote position in Nashville, Tennessee. There's a telehealth registered dietitian in Plano, Texas. There's a registered dietitian nutritionist infusion, a program manager dietitian in Walgreens. I think this is another position that tells you, once you click into it, it takes you into Allegiance. So you have to go to Alliance RX. So you have to go to Alliance to actually apply out of ZipRecruiter. A registered dietitian that's remote in Madison, Wisconsin. Women Health registered dietitian remote. Oh, there's an unpaid intern position. Eating disorder dietitian. And then there's this interesting position for Somali speaking people. It's a dietitian position, and the hourly pay is $35 to $39. It's Cecilia Health, and it's for Somali speaking people. A registered dietitian in Rockville, Maryland. An administrator analyst dietitian, a pediatric dietitian nutritionist. So there is a lot of positions that are available. And this is not just in one area, it's all over. It's all over the USA. And so, just check out ZipRecruiter. So this is ZipRecruiter that we're looking at. And then the other one we're going to look at is we're going to look at Indeed. So this position pays anywhere up to 100,000. So this is one of the higher paid position when it comes to dietitians. There's remote, registered dietitians, nutritionist, registered dietitian, nutritionist, New Jersey, Topeka, Kansas, North Carolina. And so, yeah, I think you can see that, there's a variety of specialization. This is an oncology. All right, jumping over to Indeed, there's also positions, nutrition's coach, that's paying 100 to 1,500 a week. There's a team manager intro, that's paying anywhere from 55 to 70K, full-time position. There's a private practice dietitian in Boston, Massachusetts, paying $44 to $49 an hour. There's a registered dietitian that's remote in Madison, Wisconsin. And some of this can, you'll notice it's a repetition from the ZipRecruiter. A dietitian in Chicago, Illinois. Cecilia Health is over there. Registered dietitian in Massachusetts, paying about $40 an hour. Registered dietitian in I think Moch is a company. And so, yeah, there is a lot of jobs that are available for dietitians and nutritionists. And so, if you were thinking about about going into nutrition, nutrition or dietetics, you have your answer. There's a lot of jobs that are available, and and you could make good money. And there's a lot of specializations that come along with these positions. Hopefully, this was helpful to someone who is considering either coming to the U.S. and venturing into this field. But yeah, otherwise, let me know in the comment section if you have any questions. And again, Penina, when Penina quoted this to me, and she told me, in Kenya, you get paid less than, $10,000 for the whole year. And in the US, the average is about 67,000 for that 1 year. So there's a disparity in the payment. And so if you're looking to start a career in nutrition and in dietetics, the US could be a place for you. And so you can see, and all these, there's a lot of remote positions, a lot of specializations, and I mean, you can't make this up. That's why they call it the US, the land of opportunities. Thank you, guys.